Hey everyone! Today we're going to dive into the world of Marcel Proust to unpack a single really powerful idea, how learning to truly see can completely transform our reality. And it all kicks off with one brilliant, simple observation.
So Proust basically drops this puzzle on us. He's saying there's this huge gap between the labels our brain slaps on everything, ocean, building, tree, and the raw, unfiltered information our eyes are actually taking in. And that gap, right there, between what we think we know and what we really see, well, that's where our whole story begins.
All right, let's start with a feeling I'm pretty sure we've all had: disappointment. You know that moment when you've built something up in your mind for ages, and then you finally see it, and it just doesn't measure up? Proust's narrator feels this big time. He's spent his life dreaming of seeing the church at Baalbec, picturing it as this epic, almost mythical thing. But when he finally gets there, it's just a church. It seems smaller, somehow less impressive, and it just can't compete with the masterpiece he had built in his head. The reality is a total letdown. And this, right here, is the crucial turning point. The narrator starts to wonder, wait a second, what if the church isn't the problem? What if the problem is me and my way of seeing? And to figure this out, he finds the perfect guide, a master painter named Stier.
So now, we get to step inside Stier's studio, which Proust describes as a laboratory for a new creation of the world. This is where the painter's secret is about to be revealed.
The key to everything Stier does is this idea of metaphorical vision. Now, this isn't about being clever with words. It's about being radically honest with your eyes. It means seeing the world as it first appears to you, just patches of color, light, and shadow, before your brain jumps in and starts labeling everything. Think about watching a sunset in the city. Your brain knows you're looking at concrete buildings, but your very first pure impression, it might just be dark, jagged shapes against a stunning wash of orange and purple. That's the vision Stier is chasing.
And here's his method for getting there. It's a three-step process. First, he strips away knowledge. He literally tries to forget that what he's looking at is a boat on the sea. He makes himself ignorant on purpose. Second, he trusts his senses completely, capturing the beautiful optical illusions that make up our first vision. And finally, he paints that raw impression, recreating the world based on what he genuinely sees, not what he knows is there.
Now, I know that can sound a little abstract, so let's look at a super concrete example, one of Stier's paintings that the narrator sees in the book. Check this out, the port of Carquethue. In the column on the right, you've got what our logical mind knows. Land is land, sea is sea. They're separate. But now look at the left column. This is what Stier paints. He flips everything around. He uses marine terms for the town and terrestrial terms for the sea. A ship looks like it's sailing right through the city. By totally erasing that logical line between land and water, he forces us to stop knowing and to just see. And this is the whole point. This isn't just some cool visual trick. By breaking down the intellectual walls we put up between things, Stier reveals a deeper, more poetic truth, a kind of hidden unity in the scene that was there all along, but our habit of labeling everything made us completely blind to it.
The implication here is pretty profound. This isn't just about painting pictures anymore. This is about how art actually has the power to completely remake the world for us.
This quote from the book just nails it. The first act of creation was to name things, to define them, to separate them. But the artist's creation is the exact opposite. It's to unname things, to strip them of their labels so that we can see them fresh as if it's the very first time.
So ultimately, what Stier's work does is it finds and captures those incredibly rare and fleeting moments when we see the world poetically. It's that flash of pure impression you get right before your intellect kicks in and makes everything ordinary again. Art takes that flash and makes it permanent.
So let's bring all this home. For Proust, the true purpose of art isn't just to be beautiful or to hang on a wall. Its real job is to fundamentally give us a new way of seeing.
So what can we actually take away from all this? Stier's art really is a lesson. It teaches us to challenge our own know-it-all intelligence. It encourages us to look past the easy names we give things and to find the poetry hidden underneath. And maybe most importantly, it shows us that the real journey in life isn't about seeing new places, but about learning to see the same old places with new eyes.
Which brings us to our final question for you. After hearing about Stier's secret, how can you go out into your own familiar world today and try to look at it with an artist's eyes? What new things do you think you might discover?
This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.